I want to get the hell off the streets.
Nobody wants to be out on the streets.
When they say the streets are cold, the streets are really cold, you know? You're on your own.
I was homeless on the beach for 2 years with my other brothers and sisters.
We were born on the streets. We sleep under the stars and wake up under the sun. What more can you ask for?
Pretty much been homeless like half my life, from the age of 14.
I mean, we were never rich, you know, we've always kind of struggled, but we've never been like this before.
But it came a point in time where it was just hit rock bottom and you don't know what to do, you know? I just cried in my room and I didn't know what to do. So I just packed up my bag and I just left.
I left school, left all my opportunities, left everything behind, and I went to go take care of my mom. She passed away this June.
And so we lived out in Waimanalo. We did not have a tent because we're not supposed to have a tent, period. So we kept it simple and just laid out a blanket on the sidewalk. It was cold, and when it rained, we just had to throw a tarp right over us.
We were sleeping at one of the beaches on the North Shore. The kids had a tent, and him and I usually just slept in the back of the truck, you know, lay down a mattress or something. If it started raining, we would put a pop-up up.
I was born out here, I was raised out here, but I went to LA for high school. The first time I was homeless, I was in Skid Row in Los Angeles. I was with my mom, my sister, and my brother.
In their world, school does not exist. They're so focused on basic needs, you know, Maslow's hierarchy and all of that. Where am I going to sleep tonight? What am I going to eat tonight? What am I going to drink? How am I going to get my drugs? And how am I going to take away the pain from my trauma?
We were staying at Ala Moana, just back and forth from Ala Moana to the storage because we couldn't stay there at nighttime. So we'll go to the storage and put up our tent.
We moved for one semester of my 8th grade year to Waianae, to the transitional shelter. And we also lived on the beach over there, then moved to another transitional shelter over there, all in Waianae. Knowing that we may not have a stable house in Waianae, and knowing that we spent all these years in Nanakuli, it was just easier for us to stay in Waianae and go to Nanakuli High School and intermediate.
I had problems in my life that nobody reached out to me, and then I became all about the street, all about the hood, just because something inside of me was hurting and I didn't want to listen to nobody. I didn't want to go to school because something was hurting me.
I'm kind of happy I was brought up on the street, actually. I can remember up to like 6. I used to live on the street, the beach, down in Waianae, Old Harbor. And I'm at FAC, known as Family Assessment Center in downtown Kakako. Our 90 days are up, so it's a 90-day program. Currently, we're living day to day at the moment.
Contrary to popular belief, it can be kind of peaceful, you know, being homeless. You don't have to pay rent, but you do have to, you know, figure out how to survive. And say if you don't have any money, that becomes a lot harder. There's a lot of different paths you could take. I mean, most of them, they just, you know, they do what they have to do. I don't believe in harming people for my own good. So I don't, you know, I never went out there and just robbed somebody just so I could get some money. I would usually just be the one to ask people for $1.
Survival, I'd say, in my opinion, was the hardest. Mainly because you have to do everything in your power to get food and get money. I took it upon myself to go search for cans and bottles.
Hawaii is super expensive. Like the rent is like out of this world. It's so expensive. For a 2-bedroom house, it's $1,700.
You can go work at McDonald's and stuff like that, but that's not gonna really help me pay my bills. You know, $10 an hour. We have car payments, insurance, phone bills. I'm still paying off my school loan, you know, and $10 is, I'm gonna have to work 3 jobs. And it's kind of hard because you have no time for your kids. Just like really you're working to die, it feels like, because you're not enjoying the money, you're not enjoying your family.
A lot of the times that an individual between 18 and 24, a young adult, have left the home, but in the process they also come in with no documentation, no driver's license. They're not rooted anywhere. And so that, you know, obviously is a huge challenge for them to seek employment and to be housed.
They're experiencing this trauma, and there are certain connections in the brain that are being broken, severed, or like just not aligning. They feel empty, they feel sad, they feel depressed. A lot of them, you know, are on the way to some kind of mental illness or emotional disorder. They don't know how to express that. So a lot of them have anger problems. A lot of them, you know, they do drugs because for just the couple of minutes that they're high, pain goes away.
The landlord was harassing us by turning off our electricity. She was yelling at my children, nonsense kind of things like, oh, your parents are back on rent, don't play over here. And it's like, they're 7 and 12 years old. They don't know about that kind of things.
I never did tell anybody, like any authority or any staff in school, what I was going through. I was already in like the CPS system from like when I was 6 years old. I didn't really have any belief in any kind of staff or official whatsoever, because from what I've already experienced, they took me away from my parents.
For the most part, they're not going to be all right. I just came back from a funeral for one of my kids 2 weeks ago. And 2 of them right now are in the hospital with head trauma.
The beach that we were actually at did not have a bathroom, so we would have to drive to one of the beaches with a bathroom, brush their teeth, let them get dressed, take them to 7-Eleven or whatever to get them food, because sometimes we're so late they're not gonna get school breakfast, so then get punished for being late.
In the mornings when we get up, we have to go all the way to the top, which is like over 3 hills, just to brush our teeth, wash our face, and then there's like, because it's a beach, right? So there's the pavilion and the bathrooms and then the showers. So that's what we would just walk all the way up there, and then we would catch the bus to schools.
I would sleep by the school just to be on time to school, you know. I will come to class not showered, but I'll be in my uniform, you know, my military uniform, and it's nice pressed everything. He looks at me and he says, "Do you shower?" I look at him and I tell him straight up, no, I did not. I went to the bathroom and I wet myself down.
I would go to school tired, you know, like I don't get enough sleep during the night, especially in the shelter that we were staying in. They would wake us up at like 4:30 in the morning. We would have to be gone the whole day. We can't come back till 8 o'clock at night. But I had to manage doing that and school at the same time, along with taking care of 2 other siblings whenever my mom wasn't able to.
We had like an old car. It still runs, but that's where we would keep all our things. and we'd always stay outside. The only time we go in a car is if it's storming. The whole back of the truck was filled with food, a stove, like 3 stoves, always had this big crate of canned goods. There's like 5 duffel bags with our clothes, and then our school bags would be shoved in the front.
Putting your bed together in one tent, you know, making it nice, you know, breaking it down every day. That was the humbug part, you know. You got the 5-0, always, oh, move your things or we're gonna take it, you know. And it happened to us more than once, you know. It happened like maybe like 4 or 5 times. All of our stuff was taken by the sweep, you know, and it was just miserable, actually.
The lifestyle that they live, I mean, it might be, you know, it might sound cool and exciting and stuff like that, but ultimately a lot of times it's fatal, or they end up in prison for extended periods of time. They've transitioned into full-blown adult chronic homelessness. The chances of them making it are slim.
It's really embarrassing or like shameful when the school knows that we're living in that situation, because I feel like when people from the school know that we are homeless, they would just think of us differently.
The schools are not aware. You can't really tell that they're homeless until, you know, you see them on the street or you see them in a tent or whatever. And so the schools don't know what their situation is, and a lot of times the kids don't want to say nothing because it's, you know, embarrassing.
I didn't really talk about my situation too much. I only told like the people that I'm super close with.
Like I told like a couple of my closest friends, but I kind of, most of the time I kept it a secret.
Because we also live on the North Shore, I try not to go to beaches near their school just because I don't want their friends or anybody to see them and tease them. So we kind of try to go more towards Kahuku and Le'ie and stuff.
They go to school, they get homework. Oh man, you know, life happens, and they gotta go move their tent because of the sweeps or something. They forget to do their homework. Next day comes, oh, I didn't do my homework. Well, I just won't go to school that day. Most kids, you give them homework, they go home, they eat some dinner, they go do their homework before they watch TV or play Xbox or something. These kids don't have that advantage. They are in a tent or they're outside, and a lot of times during the nighttime they don't have proper lighting to do their homework.
One thing that really worked for me is going to the library in school. I would go into the library and I would just read. That's what really kind of kept me sane. School itself, I honestly didn't mind school. I guess you could say I didn't really make it my top priority because of what I was already going through in life. I was a freshman in high school at the time because it was about that year where I just didn't care about school at all.
You get teased a lot from the kids, especially when you go to school while you're homeless. It's more pressure on you because they tease you about what you wear and how you look, and especially that you're homeless. And they pick on your younger brothers and sisters for that too.
You would think, you know, school is going to be safe for you or reaching out for you, especially like if you get hurt from home or if you don't feel safe at home. You would think that school would help you, but not for me. I'm sorry.
By the time they get to school, they may already be maxed out for the amount of stress that they can handle in one day. So you might see them being more agitated or easily provoked. But the truth of the matter is that that child may be hungry. That child may have parents that are extremely stressed out. He or she may not have felt safety in a long time and security, the things that every child needs to develop and be healthy.
Teachers, you know, they give you life. Some of the teachers I had, well, probably just one. She was a real big help. Like, she knew my situation, and she actually came to where I was staying, and she took me out to grab clothes and hygiene. She gave me her number.
Oh, there were a few teachers that were very supportive. One of them actually donated a van to us to help us, and one of them taught me how to surf.
There's this one thing that the school provides me with that is really helpful. It is a bus pass every month, and you have to sign like this homeless act paper to receive free bus pass every month. It seems really little bit, but it's a lot.
If I was able to shower at school, wash clothes at school, eat at school, and be able to do study hall or something with the teachers, I would have stayed in school, you know.
A lot of the programs that I get into, it has these, like, this word that I really love. It's free. Although the medical diagnostics and treatment program that I went to was $500, but it was because I'm in National Honor Society, we were paid for.
Now that I'm in this program, I feel like I can see it now. You know what I mean? Like, I can actually visualize what I want to do in life. To me, that gives me hope, because there's times where I just didn't see anything. I couldn't even see, like, the next couple weeks. Right now, I'm actually in the process of becoming a marine engineer.
Now I wanted to be in medical field, and I'm working on that, and I have resources that would help me, get to that and stuff. But it's my GED I gotta get first.
I want to go Job Corps. I want to actually go to college, just build everything from there.
If the DOE had some people to go out with the outreach workers to the homeless encampments and talk to these kids. You can ask the kids, oh, how come you're not going to school? What school are you supposed to be going to? Do you have uniforms? Do you have your free lunch set up? Do you have transportation? On a case-by-case basis, sort of start moving them in that direction.
When you're in this position, the only way you can really survive is if you be positive. Because if not, you're gonna melt.
I've learned that first impression is everything.
We all are human. We all are human, yes sir? Yes. Human. We have a brain, we have a heart. Yes.